Hello everyone, welcome to English Story by Manoj Chandra, stories that can change your life. On this channel, we share powerful, inspirational, and meaningful English stories that teach important life lessons and help you grow in life. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's story. It's such a frustrating feeling, isn't it? You feel like you're putting in all the hours, you're doing all the right things, but that finish line just seems to get further and further away. Well, the young man in our story today, he felt that exact same way. He was desperate for success, and he wanted it right now. But a simple, broken-down watch was about to teach him one of life's greatest lessons.
So, let's begin. Our story is about a young student named Rohan, and in Rohan, I think we might just see a little bit of ourselves, because he's dealing with a struggle that is, incredibly common.
Now, Rohan was a smart kid. Really intelligent. And his mind was just buzzing with these huge dreams for his future. But there was a big problem, a huge disconnect between where he wanted to go and how he was trying to get there. There was one major obstacle that was holding him back from everything.
And what was that obstacle? Impatience. He was just so incredibly impatient. And this one single trait, it overshadowed everything else. He expected to see results immediately. And when success didn't show up on his schedule, all that bright motivation would just curdle into frustration, making him want to just give up entirely. This all reached a breaking point one afternoon. He had just failed an important exam, and in a moment of total frustration, he just threw his books down, feeling that awful sense of failure just boiling over.
But his grandfather, who was this very wise man, was watching from nearby. And he saw this moment not as a failure, but as an opportunity to teach something important. So instead of giving a long lecture, he came up with a little puzzle. With a gentle smile, he just said, "Come with me, Rohan. I want to show you something." He led Rohan into his small workshop, and as Rohan looked around, he must have felt this strange sense of irony. The room was just filled with old clocks and watches, the very thing he felt was slipping away from him, time. His grandfather then reached over to a dusty table and picked up an old, broken watch. "This one stopped working many years ago," he explained, as he placed it right into Rohan's hand. Rohan, as you can imagine, was just completely confused by this. And this is where the real lesson begins. The grandfather's instruction was so simple. He just said, "Look carefully at the time." This broken object was about to become a profound metaphor for life itself. Rohan looked closer, and he was surprised. Even though the watch was totally broken, its hands were pointing to the exact correct time of day. How is that even possible? He wondered out loud. And his grandfather's response, well, it was simple, but it held a universe of wisdom. The grandfather let that idea really sink in for a moment before he continued. "Life, my boy," he said, "works in a very similar way. Success rarely, if ever, comes instantly. It needs you to wait, to learn, and to grow. But if you keep moving forward with patience, your time will come. You see, the watch's moment arrives without it doing anything at all. But a patient person's moment, that comes from continuing to do the right thing step by step, even when it feels painfully slow." He put a hand on his grandson's shoulder and really drove the point home. The crucial thing to understand is this. Success isn't a place you just arrive at overnight. It's a structure you build, piece by piece, with the tools of patience, discipline, and consistent everyday effort. And those words, they just echoed in Rohan's mind, and they sparked a huge change in his whole attitude. He made a conscious decision right then and there to shift from that mindset of hasty frustration to one of patient focus. So instead of chasing the end result, he began to really respect the process. He built a new path for himself, one that wasn't based on frustrating bursts of work, but on the quiet, steady power of patient learning and consistent daily effort. So months went by, but this time, Rohan wasn't just anxiously watching the clock, waiting for results to fall out of the sky. No. He was patiently and actively working, day after day. And then another important exam came around. And just like that broken watch, which is right on time twice a day, Rohan's time, it had finally and perfectly arrived. When the results for the exam were finally announced, the outcome was completely different this time. Rohan had passed with excellent marks. And for the first time, the pride he felt wasn't some fleeting feeling. It was deep, and it was so well earned. He went straight to his grandfather, and there was this new understanding shining in his eyes. He finally saw that his achievement wasn't some sudden stroke of luck, but it was the inevitable result of all that patient work he had put in before. And his grandfather just smiled. Exactly. Time never stops, and success will always find those who patiently keep going.
From that day forward, Rohan never forgot the lesson of the broken watch. And the moral of this story is a simple but really powerful truth that we can all carry with us. Your moment will come. You just have to keep going with patience, consistency, and a true belief in your own hard work.
Thank you for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and subscribe to English Story by Manoj Chandra for more inspiring stories. Because here, we share stories that can change your life.